Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah and this is Jar of Fireflies. Here I make videos all about my life as an Orthodox Jewish homeschooling mother of 4. And today we're going to be talking about my evening routine. Okay, so baby Firefly is asleep, so I've got at least a few minutes to pop on and film the video for you guys. So here we are. All right, I did a video recently where I went over my morning routine, which because I have a new baby isn't exactly as much of a routine as it was a list of 10 things that I like to do to help my day start right. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a list of 10 things that I do in the evening that help me wind down my day nicely and prepare me to start the next day. Okay, so let's just dive right in. This list is written in no particular order, but it's sort of generally probably how I would do my evening, because when I sat down and wrote it, I went through a typical evening in my head. Anyways, let's dive in. Okay, so first on my list is to tidy up the house. Nothing is worse than waking up in the morning and seeing the house all messy. Also, it affects me going to bed. If I'm going to bed and I know that my house is super messy, then there's just the thought of it there in my head. I'm gonna wake up to a messy house, or I went to bed without getting everything done, or whatever the thoughts are that are gonna go through my head. It just doesn't work out that well for me. So I like to tidy things up. Now, this isn't like a full-on house cleaning. It's just making sure that the house is reasonably clean before I go to bed. I really shouldn't even use the word clean at all. Again, it's not like I'm mopping floors or anything like that. It's tidying up the house. It's making sure that pillows aren't strewn across the living room floor, that they're up on the couch. They don't even have to be that straightened on the couch. They just have to be like not on the floor. Anyways, and this is a process that my kids get involved in, this kind of tidying up before bed thing. This is the kind of thing that I'll come in and be like, all right, kids, clean up the living room, or you tidy up the school table, or you pick up the dirty clothes in the bathroom, like whatever. The kids all pitch in and help with this tidying up. It's not just a thing that I'm doing. All right, the next thing on my list, which is kind of along those same lines, is putting the kitchen to bed. Now, this is something that I do like to do on my own. This is a wonderful time of evening for me to plug in my earbuds, listen to a podcast or a class or some music, and just kind of chill out and make the kitchen sparkle. Now, I really do like to clean the kitchen at this point. This is more than a tidying up. I want to go to bed and wake up with the kitchen clean. That starts my day off amazing. And it doesn't always happen, because on nights where, say, for example, Mr. Firefly is up late cooking, I'm not going to stay up and clean the kitchen after he goes to bed. I just skip this part on those days. And then I also know when I wake up that next morning what to expect. So it's not like a shocker. It's not going to ruin my day because I was expecting it. But on a general normal weeknight, I do like to clean up the kitchen and make it very tidy and clean before I go to bed. All right, another thing that I like to do in the evenings before I go to bed is to have a date with Mr. Firefly. So this doesn't mean that we're going off to a restaurant or hiring a babysitter to go off and do something or anything like that. It can really just mean sitting down for 10 minutes and talking with my husband. This will happen a lot while my husband is sitting working on his puzzle, or we might sit and eat dinner together. The other night we had tried, for example, to get a babysitter. It didn't work, so my husband brought some takeout home for the two of us to enjoy together. Occasionally we will actually go out together and go grab a coffee or some dinner, or just walk around the grocery store together without the kids. And that's great because we get a lot of dedicated conversation in there. But like at the very least, it's us sitting down together and just kind of having 10 or 15 minutes of how was your day, and like actually speaking about our day, because we're not wanting to have a shallow conversation, because we don't want to have a shallow surface level relationship. We want to really know what was going on in our days, how it went, and talk over things, talk about things that are bothering us or troubling us, or plans we have. It's a really good time for me to let him know how the kids are doing and things that have happened in our home or with our friends, anything that he needs to be aware of, things like that. So it's a really good connection point for us to have every day. All right, next on my list is the to-do list. I keep a lot of to-do lists. So one is that I use these little notepads, and I keep an ongoing list on those that I spread out for each day at the beginning of the week. Then I also have, of course, in my planner, different to-dos and places we need to be and go, and people who are coming over that we need to be home. It's more schedule-y type things like that. But every night I like to come in, and on the whiteboard in the kitchen, I like to go ahead and clean that up and write out everything that I know that we need to get done the next day. Now I know I have that on my little notebook, my little sheet of paper. However, I like to have it on the whiteboard where it's really in my face and I don't ignore it and forget about it. Because there are definitely some days where if I have it on just a piece of paper, I completely ignore the piece of paper and then I realize that I missed something that we were supposed to be doing, or I'm unprepared for something that we had going on, or whatever the thing may be. So writing this up on the whiteboard on the refrigerator keeps it right there in my face where I can't miss it, and I definitely know what I have going on that day. And as I go in there in the morning and I'm making breakfast, I'll see it and I can start kind of thinking through my day. All right, another thing that I like to do there in the evenings is set out my clothes for the next day. So this is one of those things that I started doing maybe within the past month or so, but it's made a really big difference for me. I heard about doing this somewhere and I don't know, it just sort of clicked with me. It resonated a little bit, so I thought I would give it a try, and it's definitely something that I'm doing now. I even cleared a little space in my closet and got a little bin that I really just liberated from another room in the house that was holding toys that we just didn't need that many bins holding toys, so I took this one. Anyways, and that's where I can put my clothes now that I need for the next morning. And I put everything in there, socks, shirt, like everything is in there, so I can just grab that bin, get dressed, and be ready to walk out. It's really nice because it saves that thinking in the morning when my brain's kind of foggy and I haven't had any caffeine yet, and I'm just sort of like, you know, you're looking in your closet and you're like, wait, well, I don't even have the undershirt that I need to wear with this shirt, and that's what I want to wear today, or I thought I was going to wear this skirt today, but it's in the wash. All of that is gone. Plus, like the general decision making of like, what am I going to wear today? It's all gone. Pull out the bin, I'm good to go. And when I'm doing this also is a time when I will check the weather, because of course that makes a difference on what I'm going to wear as well. And I'm also thinking ahead about what am I doing. So for example, if we're staying home all day, then I know that I can just wear something very casual. But if we're going out, then I want to make sure that I'm dressed appropriately for that. For example, are we going to a doctor's appointment or are we going to the park? I'll pick a different outfit for those two things, probably. But yeah, setting my clothes out has just been a random thing that's made a really big difference in my day. So definitely a habit I suggest if you don't do it already. Okay, so now we're definitely jumping into an order of things that I'm doing. So next on my list is to go ahead and take a shower. I used to be a shower in the morning person, and then I became a shower at night person. I like it so much better. Oh my gosh. So I take my shower at night, and even though I usually don't have a lot of time because I'm also dealing with putting kids to bed and dealing with all the other things that I want to do at night, it takes that one extra thing off my plate in the morning and allows me to get my day started sooner. Especially with the little baby right now. It's nice that when my husband is home, I can pop in the shower and I don't have to worry about the kids at all. And then in the morning, I'm not having to rush or worry or have anybody coming in and interrupting me. And it's also nice to get into bed all clean and not grimy from the day. All right, next, after I get out of the shower, I do like to go ahead and do my skincare routine, which at night is very simple. It's pretty much like my morning routine. Actually, it's a little bit simpler. All I'm doing is putting on a lotion on my face. Right now, I'm using this moisturizer from Olay because I bought it in a 2-pack with the other lotion that I'm using on my face in the morning. But I'm not married to it or anything like that. I don't know if I'm going to stick with it, but for now, it is working just fine for me. But I've definitely been in this habit of putting the moisturizer on every morning and every night, and it definitely makes a difference for my skin. Like I can see it. If I miss it for a couple of days, like I can really notice it. So yeah, the moisturizer is good. But a lot of you guys anyways have asked about my skincare routine, and that's really it. Okay, the next item on my list is something that I am striving for. It's not something that I'm doing every day right now, but it's something that I'm trying to experiment with because it's something that I really, really want to do. And that is to put my phone away before I go to bed. Just putting it on the dresser, like where I can't just reach over and reach to it. I tend to be one of those people who gets on and starts scrolling through YouTube shorts or Instagram reels or anything like that. And I just sort of get lost in that for an hour, and I've realized I've just wasted an hour of my life. Like it's gone and I cannot get it back. And this is maybe a personality thing with me, but it's not something that I want to do. Not anymore. It's a habit that I want to break. So this is something that I'm doing as often as I can right now while I'm kind of easing into it and getting used to it. But yeah, I'll put it over on my dresser so it's still in the room. If I hear a diabetes alarm from my child with type 1 diabetes, then I can pop up and I can look at it because I'm gonna need to get out of bed anyways. What's the difference if my phone's across the room or not? And I can then go and take care of that. But it's not right there next to my bed where I'm just gonna sit and look at it if I wake up at night and then not get back to sleep. Which leads me to the next item on my list, which is reading before bed. Okay, so I have a couple of categories of reading that I do. One is my Torah learning, where I'm working through the prophets. Y'all have heard me talk about this a lot on my other videos. And then the other is a reading challenge that I will be discussing more in a future video. So I will pick one of those to read before bed. If I haven't finished my Torah learning, then I will work on that. And if I have, then I will read from my other category. And those books range, and like I said, I will get into that in a future video. It's a bit much to dive into right now. But basically what I'm trying to do is to replace my phone in bed at night with a book. And to help me with this, I bought myself a book lamp. Oh, I love this little book light. It is so great. I have a bedside table lamp. However, it gives just a little bit too much light. And if I'm turning over or whatever, the light, it doesn't work. I have to be in a certain position to read from it, especially if I'm reading from a book with a really tiny font, which happens sometimes. And yeah, so I need the book light, and that makes a huge difference. And then I can really direct my light and I don't bother anybody else in the room. All right, and the final item is I go to sleep. And yes, this is intentional. And I'm saying go to sleep because this is the point of going to bed at night. But it's very easy for me to stay up until like 2 in the morning, just either playing on my phone or exploring some new idea or trying to take notes or getting lost in a book or whatever the thing may be. So it's not that I give myself a bedtime, but when I feel that I've kind of winded down, like there's no reason to like read the book until you're falling asleep or stay up on the phone until 2 in the morning. Like I can just decide when I'm chill enough, I can put everything down and I can just go to sleep. And that little bit of quiet time there that I have with myself with no distractions is really, really nice. And this is the point in my day where I say the Shema prayer also. We say the Shema prayer twice a day, once in the morning and then once before we go to bed. Kind of like how I love waking up and washing my hands and doing certain things in the morning that really set my day with this intention of what my life is all about. The same thing is this Shema prayer here right before I go to bed. Just as the last thing that I do before I go to bed, I'm focusing on who I am and my relationship with God. All right. So that is the list. Those are the 10 things that I am doing that helps my day wind down very nicely and sets me up for a fabulous day the next day. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I definitely enjoyed sharing it with you. If you did, please give this video a like, hit that little thumbs up button. I would super appreciate it. And hey, hit that subscribe button. I would love to see you here again. And last but not least, drop me a comment down below and let me know what you do at night that either helps you wind your day down nicely or sets you up for success tomorrow, or both. I'm cool with that too. Let's get that conversation going and see how we can help each other out with some fabulous ideas. All right, and with that, I'm going to call this video a close. Thank you so much for being here as always. I super appreciate you. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in my next upload. So let's just dive right in. All right, now most of these are, okay, so most of these are in, oh my goodness, now I'm just thinking about messing up. Oh, okay. These are, by the way, in no particular order, though sometimes they end up being in a particular order. I don't know. I'll point out, I guess, why? Okay. There goes a loud truck driving by. Gosh, we haven't even been to a movie in... Have we ever been to a movie? I don't go to the movies. Tangent. So this doesn't mean that we're going off to a restaurant or... I don't know, and really, this is because we don't want to, but yeah, setting my clothes out has really made a difference for me there in the morning, and like it's like, and to help me with this,